Hi, welcome back to Mr. Menta's ELL classroom. We're getting to the end of chapter 3, where we talked a lot about what and where questions. Very good chapter. To complete this, now we're going to do a complex reading exercise. So you'll need this, page 22 from your textbook. This one you do not need to print, although you can, but you don't have to. You just need to read it. And then this one, page 23, this one I do want you to print. Print this page, page 23, okay? All right. So, to complete this exercise, you are going to do some reading. Okay? At the top, that's what it says. Reading. As you'll see on this page, we have 2 stories with 2 pictures. Okay? Over here, it says, in the park. And we have a picture of a family in the park. And over here, we have at home in the yard. And over here, we have a family at home in the yard. So what you're going to do is read both of these stories to yourself. You can do it, okay? All of these words, sorry. Sorry about that. All of these words are words that we've already practiced in our other assignments, or almost all of them. And the ones that you don't know, I think you can figure out. You can just skip them if you need to. You can read this, okay? And then read this. And then when you're done, take out this page, page 23. And the first thing we're going to do is a true or false. Good old-fashioned true or false. You're going to read these sentences, and you're going to write T for true or F for false next to each one. Okay? Then you get over to here. Okay? And it says, using this model, make questions and answers based on the stories on page 22. Okay? So they have, for example, question, what's Mr. Jones doing? He's reading the newspaper. You know what? We'll do that one together in a minute, okay? So you can save that one. Just finish the true and false, and then come back to me, and we'll talk about it. Then we'll do this one together, okay? All right, so go back, read the stories, answer the true and false, then come back to me, and we'll talk about it, okay? So it's time to pause the video. Pause the video now. Do your work. All right, did you pause the video? All right, let's start out by reading the stories together. They're not that long. So I'm going to read it out loud, and you follow along at home, okay? So take out your copy of this story and follow along as I'm reading it to you, okay? In the park. The Jones family is in the park today. The sun is shining. Shining, that means lots of light shining. The sun is shining. And the birds are singing. It's a beautiful day. Beautiful. Very pretty. Mr. Jones is reading the newspaper. Mrs. Jones is listening to the radio. Sally and Patty Jones are studying, and Tommy Jones is playing the guitar. The Jones family is very happy today. It's a beautiful day, and they're in the park. Okay, that's story number 1. Story number 2, at home in the yard. The Chen family is at home in the yard today. The sun is shining and the birds are singing. It's a beautiful day. Sounds pretty much the same, right? Mr. Chen is planting flowers. Mrs. Chen is drinking lemonade and reading a book. Emily and Jason Chen are playing with the dog, and Jennifer Chen is sleeping. The Chen family is very happy today. It's a beautiful day, and they're at home in the yard. All right, let's do the true and false. Okay. Number 1, and I'm going to get my copy of the book here. The Jones family is at home in the yard today. False. The Jones family is in the park today. They are not at home. They are in the yard. Number 2, Mrs. Chen is planting flowers. Okay. False. Mrs. Chen is drinking lemonade and reading a book. Number 3, Patty Jones is studying. True. Sally and Patty Jones are studying. Number 4, Jason Chen is reading a book. False. Emily and Jason Chen are playing with the dog. A lot of false in this today. 5, the Chen family is singing. I can tell you right now, that's false. That's false. The birds are singing. And number 6, the Jones family and the Chen family are very happy today. True. I said that for both of them. True. Okay. The Chen family is very happy. The Jones family is very happy. So they're true. Okay, so now let's go on to these questions. Okay? So, using this model, make questions and answers based on the stories on page 22. So, question, what's Mr. Jones doing? Answer, he's reading the newspaper. Okay? So, I want you to make questions about, let's say, 3 more people. Okay? So they said, what's Mr. Jones doing? Now, what's Mrs. Jones doing? If I were to ask you that, we'd say, she's listening to the radio. Okay? So I want you to make 3 more questions. Give me Sally and Patty Jones. Question, write a question. You can write it on a separate sheet of paper, or you can write it just on your sheet anywhere. It's fine. Write questions about Sally and Patty Jones. Give me a question about Sally and Patty Jones, and then answer it. Then give me a question about Tommy Jones. Then answer it. Then give me a question about Mr. Chen. And answer it, okay? You got that? I want you to pause the video now and write questions and answers from the picture about Sally and Patty Jones, Tommy Jones, and Mr. Chen, okay? Write those 3 questions for me, okay? Write those 3 questions, then come back. So pause the video, write those 3 questions and the answers, the questions and the answers, okay? All right, pause the video, write the questions and the answers. All right, did you pause the video and write the questions and the answers? So, what you should have written is read back what you wrote, look at what you wrote, and check it. Okay? Check it against what I say. What are Sally and Patty Jones doing? Did you remember to write are? What are Sally and Patty Jones doing? Answer, they're studying. Okay? Next question. What's Tommy Jones doing? What's Tommy Jones doing? Or what is? He's playing the guitar. Good. And last, what's Mr. Chen doing? Answer, he's planting flowers. Okay, you're doing good. Let's keep going. Next, we have a listening exercise because we're almost at the end of the chapter, so things are getting harder. So we've got a lot of stuff to do here. So this listening exercise. Listen and choose the correct answer. Okay? Okay, here we go. So, number 1, listen and choose the correct answer. What are you doing? What are you doing? B, I'm studying. Okay? You got your sheet out? Circling the answers as we go? Gotta be fast. Gotta be fast. There's a nice snap. All right, number 2. What's Mr. Carter doing? Number 2. What's Mr. Carter doing? Circle 1. Circle an answer. What's Mr. Carter doing? He's eating. Number 3. What's Miss Miller doing? What's Miss Miller doing? B, she's watching TV. Number 4. Okay. So listen and circle 1. Make sure you circle 1. What are Jim and Jane doing? What are Jim and Jane doing? B, they're cooking dinner. Jim and Jane are they're. Number 5. What are you and Peter doing? What are you and Peter doing? A, we're planting flowers. And number 6, what am I doing? What am I doing? You're A. You're playing baseball. Good. All right. So now we have one last activity, and this one is a really solid writing activity. Okay, so you'll notice we've got a picture over here. Okay, it looks a lot like the pictures that we had over here. You know, we have a family, they're doing something together. Each person in the family is doing something. Okay? But over here, we had stories to go with the picture. Over here, we have no story. Okay? So it says, at the beach. The Martinez family is at the beach today. Using this picture, tell a story about the Martinez family. So what you need to do is write a story about this picture. Your story should look a lot like this, okay? This is a story about this picture. This is a story about this picture. You need to write a story about this picture. So it should be the same kind of thing, all right? I'm going to tell you what to write. First, I want you to write an introductory sentence, just like they always had. The Martinez family is at the beach today. It's a beautiful day. The sun is shining. The water is warm. Something like that, okay? You can write whatever you want there, but it should be talking about where the Martinez family is. Then, I want you to write one sentence for everyone in this picture, okay? You know, Mr. Martinez is what? Mrs. Martinez is what? Alex Martinez is what? One sentence for every one of those people. Okay? And then one last sentence at the end. Okay? Just like in these, to say what was happening. Over here, see? It's a beautiful day, and they're in the park. It's a beautiful day, and they're at home in the yard. So on this one, you'll say, it's a beautiful day, and what? Okay? So I want you to pause the video now and write that down. Make sure you write one sentence for everyone in the picture, and then one sentence at the beginning, and one sentence at the end, okay? Should be pretty long, okay? So I should have told you to get a separate sheet of paper. Sorry, but you can get one now, okay? So pause the video and write your sentences, okay? Okay, did you pause the video and write the sentences? Okay, so I am going to tell you what you should have written. Pretty much what you should have written was, the Martinez family is at the beach today. The sun is shining. It's a beautiful day. Something like that. So look at what you wrote. See if it looks pretty much like that. Next. Mr. Martinez is cooking. You could just say is cooking. That's fine. If you want to get really good, Mr. Martinez is cooking hot dogs and hamburgers. Mr. Martinez is cooking. Mrs. Martinez is drinking lemonade. Alex Martinez is reading a book. Did you get this? Did you get this? Is this what you wrote? Tina Martinez is swimming. And Jimmy Martinez is listening to music. Or maybe you said he's dancing. That's also good. It's a beautiful day today. The Martinez family is at the beach and they're happy. Something like that. Okay? All right. Did you get all of that? Or pretty close to it? Good job. This was a long activity, but we're done. Nice work.